Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to assign pins to your Quartus design and then program to whatever device you're using. So let's say you have a VHDL project here in Quartus and you want to try it out on whatever board you're using. So first thing you want to do after you have everything set up is compile, and then if you go into the pin planner, you'll see here that you get assign pins to all the inputs and outputs of your circuit. Now here I already assigned some for my circuit, so the RGB and H-sync and V-sync of the VGA. But I left some here to show you how it's done. So on the board I'm using, which is a DE1 board, you have to go look up into the manual what ports exactly you have to use to assign to whatever you want to do. So let's say for the clock here, we want to assign to a 15 megahertz clock. So we could go into the manual right here that you can find online. Go to this section on clock inputs. And then we could find here, okay, so pin L1 is for that clock. So you could just go into the pin planner again and just type in L1 and it'll find it for you. So similarly for all these buttons, all these inputs, I mean, let's say you want to assign them to the push buttons on the board. What you could do is look in the manual again, look for the buttons, so that's going to be under the LEDs and switches category, and just scroll down until you see these push buttons. So let's say we want to assign to all these push buttons, so R22, R21, T22, T21. Could go back into the pin planner and just assign, just like we did for the clock. So we do R22, R21, and T21, T22. So now that we have those assigned, we could just close, go back into Quartus. You're gonna have to compile the design again so that it takes those pin assignments into account. So the inputs and output ports that you see in the pin planner are actually whatever you define in your top level entity. So here we see I have clock, reset, paddle left, paddle right as my inputs and the rest as outputs. Those are what are going to show up in the pin planner, inputs and outputs to assign. Yeah, so just wait for this to compile, and once we're done with that compiling, you're just going to want to go into the program device section right here. That'll open up the programmer. You could also go, okay, so that was done. You could also go up here, programmer tab, same thing. So you want to click on whatever hardware you're using. So for me, I'm using a USB blaster connection from the board to the computer. So you just double click that, close, and then you can just run it to your board by clicking on start and test whatever you want to test. Alright, thanks guys.